Previously on Path of the Titans. But no, we just absolutely destroy the KBD and we get a sub 20 kill time when we've still got plenty of Barrows to farm. We are yet to tick off a single challenge from Barrows. Admittedly, they are all RNG dependent, so it's just a case of keep doing Barrows runs until we see these weapons. Welcome back to Path of the Titans. This week we have been going crazy with streaming at Barrows. So I want to throw a quick thank you out to everyone who's been joining those streams and keeping me company while this insane grind has been going on. For the rest of you, let's catch up with how we're doing. Firstly, let's refresh ourselves on what the Barrows Goals are. First up is a Carol's weapon. This has to be something that gives us tier 70 accuracy, so a main hand pistol or a two-handed crossbow. The same is true for the Aram's weapon we need for the Dragonstone challenge. We need either a wand or a staff to get access to tier 70 accuracy. The Onyx challenge is a bit of an odd one out, but it's the first tier 80 weapon we can get access to, so I'm really interested in still going for that Linza's hammer. And then finally, the Hydrix challenge of Barrows is to obtain any full set, a bit of a throwback to the task before it was changed. Now we're all back up to speed, let's dive in. After its success at KBD, I decided to start integrating the Dragon Battle Axe into our Barrows runs. So exactly like we did with the KBD, we use the Adrenaline Crystal, pop the Dragon Battle Axe spec, use it again, and we speed off to Linza. This gives us about 40 seconds of the Dragon Battle Axe buff for fighting Linza, which is pretty helpful for getting her down because she honestly just has way too much health. This upcoming chest sparked a bit of a competition for the worst Barrows chest we could see for killing 7 brothers. The reason why Linza doesn't matter in that is because she doesn't actually add any commons to the chest, so you just need to kill 7 brothers. And while this chest may look bad, I promise there were worse ones, but currently, the prize for the worst chest actually goes to one of my viewers, Alaric, who decided to keep me company while doing this grind, and ended up with a chest that looks like this. It's a shame he was wearing a luck ring to add that half prayer potion. So our first stream didn't go particularly well. For those that don't know, when you're killing all 7 brothers, getting a piece from the chest is about a 1 in 10.8, which means, ideally, 1 in every 11 chests, you see an item. However, the way my luck seems to work is I'll get a bunch of items in one bunch, and then go incredibly dry for a while. And this stream was one instance of us going incredibly dry, until Jasper popped up, our resident psychic, with the call of item at 33. Okay, chest 33. Hey, Varric's helm. Dry streak over and another unique. There we go. So whoever guessed 33, I think someone guessed 33 earlier. Yeah, Jasper guessed 33. And yeah, that's how insanely rare the Linza items are. We're just coming up to getting one. After, well, this will have been my 4th stream doing this, and I did some of it off stream for the 2nd episode. We started killing Linza at chest 422, which means at this point we're approaching 200 Linza kills. This is relevant because her drop rate for any piece of her gear is 1 in 192, so we should be seeing the first piece pretty soon. So, after going 40 chests with only a single item, we decided to use our first Crystal Triskelion keys, which brings me on to the rules around keys. If they drop from a boss, go ahead and use them. There's no reason not to. Unfortunately, we just got seeds this time, but with the amount of Barrows I'm seeing in my future, I'm imagining there's going to be quite a few more Triskelions on the way. I continued to do Barrows runs off stream, and we actually got a stroke of luck in one run, where we killed Guffin and he dropped a pair of Ghost Hunter goggles. Ghost Hunter is actually pretty useful to us because I'm wearing hybrid gear while doing the Barrows just to make accuracy a little more chill, and this is level 70 hybrid gear that gives us a damage boost against ghosties. And even going forward, if we need hybrid gear and we don't have accuracy in a certain slot, then we can just use this instead. This is a new record for the worst chest for killing 7 brothers. As we can see at the start of this stream, we're up to 655 Barrows chests, which means we've gone 75 Barrows chests, only getting a Varric's helm. Considering our runs are about 10 an hour right now because of killing Linza, this means we've gone 8 hours at Barrows, only having gotten 1 item. However, for every string of bad luck, there must be a string of good luck. At least that's what I tell myself. So I kept going live and kept having the goal of just completing 1 challenge. And this is how this stream went. Take off about 20 KC. And that was when I got the knock stuff. Well, there's an item. It's a duplicate and not particularly useful, but there's an item. This may have been a bad account to start this series on. I think I'm going to out myself as a complete spoon every time I show the initial KCs and logs. Acrose's robe skirt. It's another unique. So we take that. And I believe that's our hybrid setup complete now. So I can now be super lazy with my switching. Since I was having issues with magic splashing on Acrose, I decided to go and pick up a red salamander. This is a tier 60 crossbow, so it gets the highest accuracy bonus against Acrose, and combined with our tier 70 melee weapon should make killing him just a little bit easier. Okay, number 22 today. That is our 4th Amulet of the Forsaken. It's almost like it heard me wanting money. So you need to take 7 mil off of this because there's 7 mil. Actually, if I include untradeable, 7 mil of this is, well, actually 30 mil of it because there's 23 mil in my keepsake box. Ignore those. So take off 30 mil, and this is how much we've made mostly from Barrows already. So the rogue 7 mil that at the time I didn't know where it was coming from appears to be coming from items on my tool belt. Items like the Pickaxe of Earth and Song and the Imkando Mattock, despite not being tradable, do still impact the value in the wealth evaluator. The runes are, because we've now got a white stack of mind runes from all this. We're up to 33.5 mil in runes from Barrows. There we go, another unique. Guffin's plate body. Well, it's a Guffin's piece, Alaric. Not the spear, but it's a Guffin's piece. Hey, another unique. Darok's plate legs. Didn't even clock the artwork behind. They are Nagakugas. Yes, they are paintings of a Nagakuga sleeping in a tree and the guild Nagakuga reference icon. Giggsy did both of them. There's our second Darok's item. So we currently have 2 items from Arim, Darok, Guffin, and Arim. We have 3 items from Acrose. And we have 1 from Carol and 1 from Torag. So we're making pretty good progress on that Hydrix challenge. Okay, it was 4 Armadillo, 4 Avernic, 6 Bandos, 9 Breskin, 21 Clockwork, 4 Dragon. Is that Dragonfire? Yeah, that's Dragonfire. 11 Faceted, 11 Fungal. I don't know what the one next to Illajankin is, but I didn't lose 12 Illajankin because I used them to roll on AS4E2 before I got rid of them all. And then 4 Noxious Components, 8 Pestiferous, 4 Resilient? Yep, Resilient. 6 Aerodoman, 1 Seren, 2 Shadow, 4 Shifting Components. 4... Man, I can't remember some of these. The ones that you don't use that often. Hard to remember their names just based on the picture. Silent. 4 Silent Components. 6 Third Age, 1 Zamrak, and 3 Xeris. So that's why I ended up losing on this account. The reason I didn't get rid of the nightly components is because there's 1,100 of them. And they're pretty much useless. So there's actually no value in getting rid of them. Because I will never use them. Oh my... No! Damn it! Torag's plate body. I have 4 of those now. However, eventually our luck did take a turn and things stepped up from plate bodies and despair. Yes! That's an Arim's weapon. That is a challenge done. Yes! Finally. That took so long for the first one. So the first challenge ticked off at Barrows is the Dragonstone challenge for getting an Arim's weapon. That now gives us access to tier 70 magic, something that is going to be incredibly useful to us going forward. Unfortunately, the next day, the troll drops picked straight back up again. That is another Acrose's War Mace. That was almost a Hydrix challenge completed. Another Acrosays War Mace. Okay, I see how it is. We also managed to get ourselves a Carol's Crossbow. However, it's the offhand variant, and offhands do not impact accuracy. So I do not consider this getting us access to tier 70 range, so it is not enough to complete the Diamond Challenge. Unfortunately, I forgot to disable my music channel for this clip, so you're going to have post-commentary for it, but we did manage to get an Aram's Staff. Now, we already have access to an Aram's Wand, so we're not ticking off a challenge with this. However, the Staff is slightly better for us than the Wand, because I believe until you get Greater Concentrated Blast, two-handed is slightly better than dual wield, and also it's less clicks to swap and less reflex from Linza. Okay, we just got an Aram's Hood, which is unfortunately a duplicate. We've got plenty of Aram's items recently, which I've been happy about, but we're looking for that robe top to complete the set. And while it may not have been something that ticked off the Hydrix challenge, it didn't take us long to get another stroke of good luck. Oh, Carol's Crossbow. That is tier 70 ranged, unlocked, and the Diamond Challenge complete for Barrows. Oh, that feels so good. So, with the Carol's Crossbow and the Aram Staff, as well as all of our melee weapons, we now have access to full tier 70 for all styles. So with tier 70 in all styles and the first two challenges ticked off at Barrows, there are 3 directions we can go. We have a couple Barrows sets at 3 out of 4, so we could start going for that Hydrix challenge. We could also start going for the Onyx challenge and just kill Linza to try and get that hammer as quickly as possible. Or we could shift gears and head over to the Giant Mole and start working on the hard mode challenge there. In the end, I opted to go for the Hydrix challenge at Barrows. And while at first I kept Linza in the runs just to keep up the chance of seeing that first Linza item, because we have killed quite a few Linza at this point, I eventually swapped over to just doing 7 brother runs. This almost doubles the rate at which we can do chests, and I set myself the goal of completing the Hydrix challenge before this episode. Wait, hang on. Don't let that have despawned. Did I just let that despawn? No, it's there. Okay, it was from Aram, not from Linza. We just got another piece of Ghost Hunter. That's actually kind of nice, because that's another 3% damage increase against ghosties. Yo! Plate legs and a pistol crossbow? The double chest, and I think those are both uniques. Okay, the plate legs weren't a unique, but the pistol crossbow was. And it actually means I have all of Carol's crossbows now. Ooh, Carol's top. That's a new one. That puts us at 3 out of 4 pieces for Carol. Today, I'm feeling pretty optimistic, because this is all of our uniques so far from the 7 brothers. And 3 of them, we have now got 3 out of 4 for a full set. And the others were only missing 2 for each of them. So we are getting closer and closer to that Hydrix challenge being completed. So I am just going to be gunning for that tonight. So from chest 850 onwards, we stopped killing Linza in a bid to try and complete the Hydrix challenge before this episode. Up until this point, we've been killing Linza every chest since 421, which means we have 428 Linza kills at least without a single piece, which is honestly really foreboding for the hammer grind coming up after this. Verax Brassard, another unique. That is not a full set, but puts us 1 item. Oh, that moves 1 more set up to a 3 out of 4 state. There are now 4 items that can complete this challenge. Unfortunately, the only other item we got in the next 60 chests was good old Reliable. Really? That's what breaks the dry streak? Oh my god. Hey, we got a double chest. We got a book and a war mace. Nice. There's some of that luck. So the book is a unique. It unfortunately doesn't progress us towards the Hydrix challenge because the wand, book, and main hand and offhand pistols don't contribute towards any of the Barrows sets. That's also our 4th war mace as well. Not to be dissuaded by our terrible luck on that day, we picked up the next day and went for a whole 100 chests in a single stream. And while we had much better luck with the drop rate of pieces during the stream, we still were unable to complete the Hydrix challenge. And then in a last ditch effort, I did a few runs off stream to take us up to around 1060 kill count. Unfortunately, I got absolutely nothing during that one. So the last thing left to do is wrap up how this week went. We started with a kill count at Barrows of 580 and ended at 1060. So we did 480 Barrows chests this week. Considering more than half of those were including Linza, which is about a rate of 10 chests an hour, compared to 15 an hour when you don't include Linza, Barrows basically became my second full-time job this week. However, we did manage to tick off 2 of the challenges, so I'll take that as a win. Before we wrap up this episode though, I wanted to go over what doing about 700 Barrows chests looks like. We started the series at 370-ish KC, and we're now up to 1060. So if we take a look at our collection log, you can see we're at 25 out of 39. However, one of those isn't in the series. This pair of Torag's plate legs was in a Reaper I did before the series started. Unfortunately, if this was in the series, we'd actually be done with the Hydrix challenge by now, so we just have to ignore that one. However, we have had pretty good luck across the board, if I am being honest. Most of our sets are 3 out of 4. The 2 that aren't are Darrox and Guffin, which are currently 2 out of 4. So we've got 5 sets at 3 out of 4, which means there's 5 pieces that can just complete a Hydrix challenge for us. Of course, we've got no Linza items. We're about 430 Linza KC, not yet seen an item. A bit scared for what that means for the hammer grind, but that's for future me to worry about. And as for Amulet of the Forsakens, we got 4 pretty early and then they stopped showing up. But we got them early enough to take advantage of their value. So we've got 13 accuracy pieces, and somehow I've never rolled a 1 on that D4, so I'm pretty sure the DM's going to ban me for cheating. But otherwise, our log is looking pretty strong, and I'm pretty confident that next episode we will be bringing in the Hydrix rewards. However, I would be remiss to mention just how good the commons are from Barrows. Now, admittedly, we have the Mauritania hards done. I don't have an account that doesn't have them done, so these runes are double compared to what you'll get if you didn't have that. But if we drop these in, we've made almost 100 mil in the commons from Barrows, which is really, really good. Admittedly, we have done a lot of Barrows, but this is gonna fund basically all of the supplies we need for quite a while. So, with us super close to completing our first Hydrix challenge, I'm gonna be gunning for that for next episode. And then otherwise, we've just got a few challenges at the mall to wrap up, and then it's on to Linza's hammer. So look forward to all of that coming next time. And otherwise, thank you very much for watching. There was a bit of a different feel to this episode because it was just one big grind that we were working on. But ultimately, that's part of this series. There's going to be a ton of big grinds coming up, and if I'm going to be honest, I'm not expecting Barrows to be the worst of them. If you want to tune into the grinds or just keep me company, then check out my Twitch over at RS3. And finally, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you again next time.